It's Wednesday, the 30th of March, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Adam Lang.
Good morning, Michael.
All right, Adam, we have 5 stories to get through in 5 minutes, but this is a little bit different today because story number 1 is obviously the federal budget. It is a very big event every year. And if we were to devote the amount of time the budget actually needs to pick all the bits and pieces out, what it means for business, for families, for the broader economy, if we tried to do it justice, we'd end up taking the whole Fast Five and we just wouldn't squeeze anything else in. So we've decided to dedicate an entire budget special interview on our full Fear and Greed playlist with our resident economist, Stephen Koukoulas, who knows this stuff so well. So if you're looking for more information about the budget, just search for Fear and Greed and you should find our interview with Stephen Koukoulas.
Michael, budget night is just like Christmas for Stephen Koukoulas, and this time Stephen has, as you'd expect, spent hours and hours poring over the budget papers and probably knows it almost better than Josh Frydenberg. So if you're after Fear and Greed's guide to the federal budget, head to the Fear and Greed playlist.
All right, now away from the budget, there's plenty of other news in the world of business, so we'll get on to story number 2. And Adam, I think we should look at this one, which is kind of about Australia's place in the world, and it is evolving rapidly. The Solomon Islands is reportedly ready to sign a security treaty with China, which could lead to China establishing a military base there, right in the middle of the South Pacific. It's pretty worrying news.
Michael, this is, and it's intriguing. The Security Pact would allow China to send police and assets to the Solomon Islands, and it's got Australia, the US and even New Zealand up in arms. The Solomon Islands government has said it was broadening partnerships to improve the quality of lives of its citizens and address soft and hard security threats facing the country. The Solomon Islands Prime Minister has also described the response to the impending treaty as, quote, insulting. Now, Australia doesn't want Chinese warships and troops based nearby. There are also concerns about the Chinese government's habit of lending small countries like the Solomons money to build infrastructure like ports and airports, then taking control of that infrastructure when the debt cannot be repaid.
Yeah, it's a pretty concerning one, that one. Story number 3, Adam, one of the consequences of the Ukraine invasion has been rising oil prices. It's obviously had massive flow-on effects around the world. You only need to look at your local petrol bowser to see that. But the oil price has slipped back a bit in the last few days.
That's right, Michael, and there's probably 2 important things to mention. A lot of that movement can be linked back to Shanghai going into lockdown. That's prompting fears of dampening demand, and COVID continues to spread in China, and that is the world's biggest importer of crude oil. There are also fears the lockdown could spread and be prolonged, and if it does, that means oil consumption in China's big cities will fall. Alongside that, adding to the downward pressure on prices is the fact that OPEC, the Organisation of Petroleum Exporting Countries, is meeting later this week to discuss a planned 432,000 barrels a day increase in production.
Adam, you have an allergy to acronyms, so I am completely unsurprised right now that you took the time to spell out what OPEC meant, when you know we're on a 5-minute time limit for this. Now you've cost us an extra 10 seconds for story number 4, and it's one of my favourites because it's about cryptocurrency, and crypto prices are going up. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, all up. Bitcoin is trading around 3-month highs. A lot of different factors that have kind of been building up over recent weeks, including when a senior Russian official said the country would accept Bitcoin as payment for its energy programs from friendly countries.
That's right, Michael, and cryptocurrencies are also getting a general push along by fresh interest from Western governments. A couple of weeks ago, US President Joe Biden has ordered officials to work out the best way to start regulating the market. In the EU, investors are waiting for the proposed crypto market framework, and locally, there are plans to start regulating the cryptocurrency industry, treating it like the rest of the financial services sector.
You just skipped straight over the EU just then without explaining that one meant the European Union.
Oh my God, it's contagious, Michael. I am sorry.
Very inconsistent on your acronyms today, Adam, but that's okay. Story number 5. We know that a lot of people in Australia are starting to invest overseas, and particularly they're buying shares in really well-known companies like Tesla. And that's why this story is so interesting for Australian investors, because Tesla shares are going to get more affordable because, Adam, the company is planning a stock split.
And this would be the second in 2 years. So when the plan was announced via Twitter, of course, Tesla shares were trading at around US $1,000 each. And that's just too much for many investors. The company hasn't announced the details yet, like how many shares each current share would be converted into. But that alone was enough to get people talking and send the price up more than 8%.
All right, that's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 30th of March, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and if 5 minutes isn't enough, then you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed on your podcast platform. And don't forget, you can also find all of our budget coverage there today as well. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.